Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. While I do what I do for you. I got a three-parter for you today, so let's get this thing going. Radism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right thinkers mission, and yeah, that's what I'm on. You know the deal. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, you tune in and follow my concepts. Your goal should be to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there. So I asked the question, do you know thyself? Do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and thinks that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And as always, to my yacht, be true. I'm gonna give you a trifecta today. Quick breakdown of karma and reincarnation from the ancient Egyptian concept. And I'm gonna break down a quick lesson of where is it? Where is it? Next page I'm gonna take you to is the search for true happiness and inner peace. Quick little short session. Okay. Then I'm gonna end up with how the meditation works. Okay. So when I get done, you should have a good understanding of karma, happiness and inner peace, and how meditation works. If I do my job, that's how it should work out for you. Let's go. Now we understand karma and reincarnation, the concept that has come to be known as karma. Yeah, we know about karma. Yeah, we know all that. But it was known in ancient Egypt way before the advent of the yoga in India. In ancient Africa, it was called, you ready? You hear me use this word a lot. Iri. A-R-I. Iri. The Jamaicans still use the Iriman. Okay, that means action, deeds, something done that you did. And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every deceitful act that you get away with, you're going to be responsible for that action. That's karma. And for most sneaky people, to the general public and to people around them, you only get your karma at what? Judgment Day. Why? Because everything you do in deceit and in quiet and secrecy weighs on the heart. Okay? It weighs the heart down. So at Judgment Day, you're going to be exposed for all those things that you thought you got away with. So that's the concept. Okay, now that you understand karma, nope. If karma comes to pay you a visit, she gives you what you deserve. That means you've done something to warrant that visit. Just like you get a blessing when you do something right and good. It go both ways. It's an action. It don't care about you, your religion, your gender. None of that means nothing. It's going to do what it do. Understand that. And we'll do it to you too. I ain't exempt from it either. Understand that. That's why I practice what? Doing the right thing. IRI should be thought of as a total and the total effort of what? A person's actions and conduct when during the successive phases of his or her life. Simple. Your karma is accumulation of what you've been doing your whole life. That's why we tell you, lighten the heart. These things you can do to make that happen. Purify the heart. That's what I'm trying to explain to understand how meditation gets you to help with that. But how does this affect operate? How do karma work? How do my past actions affect the present and the future? Good question. If you consider your present lifetime, you will notice that what your actions of what your past have led you to where you are today in much the same way as the fruit tree planted will be what will bear fruit what in a few years. So we live in this new generation. Y'all want everything now. They call it the microwave generation. I could care less about what y'all want. It don't work that way. And if your parents was better parents, they would taught you that so we wouldn't have that problem right now that you're grown. Well, everything should be from. No, it don't work that way. Excuse me, but I get annoyed with that. Discipline takes care of that problem right there. But guess what? Since you didn't get disciplined by your parents, karma will take care of that. Don't worry about it. And watch this. Your experiences in life, from the present life or from what? Your previous lifetime. That means you still doing the same thing. Why? Because you've been reincarnated again. Our souls are not new. They're used. Why? They've been somewhere before. They keep recycling until they go what? Home. That's when they don't come back. That's the whole cycle, whole purpose of reincarnation, the whole purpose of waking up and knowing thyself. Stop the reincarnation, because as long as you keep doing the same thing, you're going to reincarnate. Okay? And from previous lifetimes, and what? As cause of unconscious impressions, which stay with the individual soul. Again, that soul still got somebody else's impressions on it. Okay? That linger around. And at the level of the casual body, that's the end. In the deep unconsciousness, the level of the mind, what? Even after death. So that whole thing of wanting, whole desires still stay in the spirit, in the soul. So these unconscious impressions are what constitute what? The emergent thoughts, aka also your physical desires and aspirations of what? Every individual. And they cause future what? Incarnations. If you don't get to know thyself, you just be back. The spirit don't care. The soul don't give a good hoot. But you, the individual, your conscience weighs on you. And that's what dies. Why? Because it don't come back. So you gonna die again. Like I said, we tell you die twice. When I'm at issue at Judgment Day, that's your second death. Why? The physical body's already gone. That's why. And because, watch this, they impel what? Their soul to what? Continue on this journey of what? Seeking fulfillment of the what? Physical desires of the flesh. If all you want to do is zoom, zoom, and boom, boom, and get nice and all that, don't worry. Just like you lawbreakers, they got prisons. I told my kids when they was young, I'm trying to keep you from end up in that place where they don't care about you. I'm trying to teach you, you do this, you ain't got to worry about that. If we all stop committing crimes and breaking the law, what happens to all the prisons they got? Moving on, just a concept. Now, but these impressions are not what exactly like memories. However, they do work like the memories. Watch this. For example, if you had a fear in a previous lifetime or a childhood trauma of your present lifetime, you may not remember the event that caused that fear, that phobia, whatever it is. Personally, for me, falling freaks me out. That drop, I can't handle it. So yeah, somewhere in my life I was dropped and I'm still having that same going through. Don't know where it come from. Don't have a clue. So I understand the concept again. When you can identify with something from your own experience, that's understanding. When you got to try to figure out, well, how could that be? That means you ain't really understanding. Get understanding. And watch this. But you will what? You will remember that strange feeling, that uneasiness you have when what? When you come into contact with certain objects or situations or even certain people. A lot of people that have been in therapy, I have no idea how many people have been abused by their family relatives. Unbelievable to me. I got goosebumps right now. That to me is just unacceptable as a people. We cannot do that. We went about outside. We got the own enemy in the house with the kids. We grew up, we called him Chester, the child molester. So we kept the kids away from the girls. You couldn't let Chester watch the girls. Why? He would get touchy-feely. So you didn't put him in that position. Why put him in there and find out later out he done touched one of your kids? We got to hurt Chester. Okay, so we got to protect Chester from himself. So we need to understand that you can't take advantage of people in your own family. That's very, very sick. Your experiences from what your past life. Watch this. In your present life. No, I'm down here now. Okay, for example, the fears. Okay, but watch this. Now, these feelings, and they are caused by what? Childhood traumas and the unconscious impressions, which are what? Coming up to the surface of the conscious mind. They always come back. It is this conglomerate of unconscious impressions, which what? Which is judged where at Judgment Day in the halls of Maya. I just showed you a little commercial I sent out with the girl doing her dance. I'm coming out, coming out. I was gonna show my man when he died. I might walk down the courthouse, but I choose her. That's how I'm coming out. Just a little tidbit there. But the halls of Maya and determine where the soul will go next on its spiritual journey toward evolution or evolution, also known as the what? The cycle of birth and death, or better known as reincarnation, because of what? Your karma, as well as what? Your experiences of either heaven or hell. Again, your choice. The following segment, I'm gonna read a nice little segment for you from the ancient Egyptian instructions to what? To Merkara explains this point. Watch this. You know that you are not merciful the day when you about to be judged by the miserable one. If you know all the things, all the dirt you did, you think nobody knows? The heart knows, and it's going to expose you for that. That's what judgment's all about. It ain't about a judge a panel of people. No, it's about you taking a close and intricate look at yourself. And guess what? A lot of us fail. Never mind Jesus, never mind what religion. No, we fail because our hearts are what? Heavy with a bunch of secrets that we done that they thought nobody would know. That's why karma is built in to take care of that whole concept right there. Please understand that. And watch this. So at Judgment Day, you can't count on what? The passage of hours or years. Why? Because in that realm, they consider a lifetime what? It's merely an hour. God don't use time like we do. He's not in this realm of time. So you can't rely on, well, maybe, nope, it's going to be what it's going to be. That's called eternity. Once you get dealt with at Judgment Day, that's what it's going to be. And a lot of us fail. Guess what? The conscience is taken care of, and spirit go get into another body and gets to do over. Simple as that. Now, after death, watch this. You remain in existence for what? And your acts are accumulated beside you, meaning they're going to take the heart, boom, put on that scale, and everything that you did during expanding your life is encased in that heart. Okay? And your life in other world is going to be what? This life, whatever happens now, is going to be eternal. God's rule is forever. Quick lesson. When Nut and Gab had sex and God told them not to, she got pregnant, she was banished. What? She went up, he stayed down. For eternity, they'll never get together again. You don't want to break God's law. Why? Because it's eternal. That's the concept. But watch this. He who arrives in the halls of Maya, like I'm coming in there, like Willie D, strutting. Why? I'm comfortable. I'm content, knowing myself, and I'm good. Bam! Heart on the scale. I'm standing there erect, like I did when I was getting judged for my wrongdoings. Still proud. Now I'm gonna stand proud of what? I'm good to go. How you gonna stand? That's the only question. Never mind me. I ain't worried about you. I just worry about myself. I put myself in a position to know I can stand proud. How are you doing with that? Sorry about that. A little personal. Calm down. Relax. We in that judgment. But I'm trying to get you to understand, man. Everything you say, do, you're responsible for that. And that's what karma is. Your IRI, your action, the deeds, not the thoughts. Could care less about what my intent, what I thought means nothing. Your actions, what's going to be counted. Okay, now watch this. Again, let me wrap that up. Now, he who arrives, what? Without sin, before the judge of death in the scales of Maya and the halls of Maya, he will be there and he will move on what? As a netter, and he will walk freely as do what? The masters of eternity. I like to drop the mic right here because that's what it's all about. Getting there, reaching that level. That's Nihas. That's passing Judgment Day for real. How many of us pass? Not a lot, but I'm trying to help us get better at that. That's my goal. That's my mission. Let me get back to this drum. Wrap it up. No, I need this. That's the first lesson. I might have to break it down. But the reference I just read you above in is acts. When it says his acts accumulate beside him, that means the unconscious impressions which are formed as what? As the result of your IRE, aka actions, when? While you was alive. Jesus didn't come anointed after death. He was anointed in life for what he did. Moving on, just a quick lesson. These impressions can be either, watch this, positive or negative. Your choice. And it's all up to you. It don't care what you was. It don't care your accolade. It don't care your religion. It don't care your gender, color. All it cares about is your deeds, just like God. Moving on. Then you got positive impressions means what? They are developed through positive, righteous actions by living a righteous life and a virtuous life. I teach you to do that. I practice that every day. I just try to get you to understand you can implement that in your daily life and you'll get better at it when you do. I have. And what this means, this implies that you are living according to what? The precepts of Maya, the mystical wisdom, or being what? A follower of Haru. A Shemsu Haru. That means a follower of Haru and his mother Aset, the teacher, the original teacher. These actions will draw one closer in what? To harmony and peace within themselves, plus paves the way to what? The discovery of what? The self where? Within. Always within. Now let's talk about the negative IRE. The negative impressions are developed through what? Your sinful actions. Hello, right there. Sinful actions, greed, lust, all those seven depths, all those things that's negative, the Satanian, the egoistic things, that's what you live by, and this is when you're going to be judged by it. You may get away with it in life, yeah, but this is when the rubber meets the road, my man. They are related to what? Mental agitation, disharmony, deceit, sneaky, and it all leads to what? Restlessness. Why? Because you're always worrying about what you got away with. Did you really get away with it? Did they find out that I cheated them? Did they find out that I gave them the wrong stuff? Stuff like that, that weighs on the heart and the mind. So in negative actions, this implies what? Acts based on, you ready? Anger, fear, desire, greed, depression, gloom, and etc. A whole litany of things that you bring upon what? Yourself. What? Due to ignorance. And all you want to do is satisfy yourself, not to do what's right, but you want what you want. A lot of us fall victim to that. These actions draw one what? Into what? The outer world of your human desires. Fancy car, big house, nice clothes. Those are things that people see that makes you think you're somebody. But do you see what kind of person they are? Nope, can't see that. Why? Because they're hiding behind a whole bunch of stuff. Like women today, fake eyelashes, fake this, fake that. They got fake booties, fake. Man, all that's just wasted time. Why? When you get them home, what happens? Moving on. That's why. And at Judgment Day, that's like coming home at the party, cutting the lights on. And you start looking around and say, whoa, look at all this, yeah, look at this nonsense. But truth always prevails. And watch this. They distract what? Their mind, and they do not allow what? Intellect. We even got a character Sa, S-A-A, Sa. He represents intellect, your understanding, your ability to comprehend and to function with what? Righteous actions, because they got right and understanding. If you don't understand, you're not going to do it the way it's supposed to. Follow instructions. We have instructions. Thus, existence at this level is closer to what? An animal. I tell you, that's the beastly nature. The first Sphinx was showing you man from a beastly nature to become conscious of himself. That's why. And being based on animal instincts and your physical desires of the body, you have selflessness, rather than to what? Spiritually become spiritually mature human being by what? Basing on reasoning, selflessness, and compassion, etc. Doing the right thing, helping others to do what they need done, and not wanting something for doing it. Selfless service, right, thinkers? How then is it possible to eradicate negative karmic impressions? Well, I've been bad. I was a bad guy most of my adult life. I'm still working on what? Trying to get that karma thing off my back by practicing and living a different lifestyle on a day-to-day basis. And at judgment time, I'll see how I did. Simple as that. Moving on. That's my concept. And what happens? You will develop positive ones by changing. If you're going the wrong way, wrong direction, do a 180. Just go the other way. That's what I did. If you're doing bad, start doing good. You doing deceitful, sneaky things, start being transparent. Start doing things for a good cause and a purpose, not because you want something in return. Okay? The answer, here you go. Now, quickly, let me wrap it up. The answer lies in what? Your daily practice of what? Spiritual disciplines, aka right thinking philosophy. That's what I use. Collectively, what happened? Known as yoga. Again, break that down for I got a lesson for that. Now, when you study right thinking philosophy teachings, and you live according to them, what happened? Your mind will undergo what? You ready? Transformation. At what? All levels. That's why mastering self means you're going to cover every aspect of your personality. This transformation is the what? You ready? Purification of the heart. That's how you lighten the heart. You deburden the heart with what? Righteous and virtuous actions, good deeds. Hello, selfless service. Sound familiar? That's why. And it's purification of the heart. And what happened? So often spoken about throughout the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day, it signifies an eradication of the negative impressions, which renders the mind what? Pure and subtle, clear, like the ocean. I mean, the lake. When it's clear, nothing going on. You can see from the bottom, from the top to the bottom, clear. Okay, that's what your mind should be. No debris, no disturbances. It's subtle. It's cool. And when the mind is rendered subtle, what happens? Then spiritual realization is now possible. You can start seeing yourself for who you really are. This discipline is purifying the heart by living. You ready? Living according to the right thinking philosophy teachings, and it is known as the yoga of action, aka or Maya. So, wrapping it up, the practice of any spiritual discipline that leads to oneness with supreme consciousness is called, you ready? Yoga. It's a philosophy. If you study, rationalize, and reflect upon the teachings, you are practicing yoga of wisdom. There's a yoga philosophy for anything that you feel like you want to do, and it'll give you all the information you need to do that and to master it for yourself by your choice. They already laid the rules out for you. That's what you want to do. Next one is if you meditate, my favorite, upon the teachings, that's what I do daily, and of your higher self, what happened? Now you're practicing right thinking philosophy, excuse me, aka yoga and meditation, which is right thinking philosophy. If you practice rituals which identify you with your spiritual nature, you are practicing yoga of ritual identification. See where we're going with this? It goes on. But which part of the yoga of wisdom and the yoga of devotional love of the divine do you practice? That's another part, which is the selfless service. You do something for the sake of being good. If you develop your physical nature and psychic energy centers, remember them? That's the serpent power, the Irat Sekim yoga, which is part of the tantric yoga. I gave you all them episodes. I'm not going over that again, so I'm going to let that go, and I'm going to end the lesson, but I can't give you all this other stuff. I'm looking at the clock. I'm gonna squeeze in the search for true happiness right quick and inner peace. Popular culture. Watch this. Most people hold that happiness what comes from hoarding objects. I like this. And wealth, as well as from promoting situations which what provide sexual pleasures and outer prosperity. Things, objects, self pleasures. Those are things that will make you happy. It don't give you inner happiness. That's the concept. But upon those people who seem to have everything, upon closer reflection, what? It would be quickly noticed what? That this is all what? An illusion. Once you get there, you realize, I watched Will Smith. Once you got everything, you can buy everything. But my man, if you got stuff, yeah, you can run out of stuff, but you never run out of knowledge of self. Start doing that. How about that? He even hung out with Sadi Guru. Excuse me. Have you ever met anyone who was really happy all the time? When you become comfortable with yourself, happiness is what you found. That's what it's all about. So most people haven't done that, so they don't have happiness. The older you get, the more comfortable you get in the station of life, that's when happiness seems to seep in. It's hard to be happy and be happiness and find happiness at a young age. Why? You didn't experience enough life to find out what happiness really is, but you are in search of it. That's a good thing. But even those who watch this, who seem to have everything, they want what? In life, but they are never satisfied. Again, if you fulfilling your desires, you're gonna constantly chase that dragon. Like getting high. Once you hit that pipe, that hit that you got, that high that you're gonna try to get, you'll never get it again. But that's called chasing the dragon. You don't know that. They are what? Ever restless, and they always are what? Unfulfilled, always in search of more, something else to get me, to get my adrenaline going, to get me excited. Those kind of people, space cadets. Look at your own life, first of all. Again, start with yourself. Mike told you, start with the man in the mirror. And look at your life and then reflect upon that one. Your objects, money, and people do not bring what? True happiness or peace to you, do they? And if you're honest with that, you'll say, yeah, something to that. Just think about it. But watch this. Now, in the end, they are all fleeting. True happiness and inner peace, here you go, comes when there is, you ready? Detachment from objects, worldly things, and sentimental worldly relationships. I need a mate. I need my twin flame. All that nonsense. You need some. Nope. True happiness starts within. But watch this. Be they considered relationship pleasurable or the source of pain. Most of them end up in pain. Why? If y'all ain't together and things start going awry, you're going to endure pain. Consider your sleep time, okay? Don't take that for granted. Why? When you turn away from the world and your ego personality do not experience peace, when you turn away from the world, and watch this, your ego personality do not experience peace and tranquility. Why? Such as nothing you can experience in the world of human experience. When you hit that stage, that sleep, that unconscious, that deep sleep, you don't know where you went. You don't know what's going on, but you know when you wake up, you feel so good. That's happiness. And a lot of us won't reach that state of life on our own. We just get there and don't know why, because you're not conscious of it. Watch this. So yet we got people who continue to what? Search for the true source of peace and pleasure through, you ready? Ego-based experience. Not gonna happen. All you're gonna do is keep chasing your tail. And this, watch this, because of lack of what? Self-reflection and the distraction of what? The mind due to what? Ignorance. True peace and fulfillment can only occur, pay attention, when there is a steadfast, clear-cut understanding of the inner self, and there is no leaning upon what? Illusions, false concepts, and bad externalities, things that you need, desires, and egoistic feelings, not being able to control your emotions, and sentiments. That love person, I just can't get over. No matter how bad they treat you, you just can't get over them, etc. Those are all things that will keep you from what? Happiness, inner peace. When these qualities, listen, when those qualities which keep you away from that have been developed and conquered, what happened? Peace and joy can now be what? Experienced when? At all times. Once you figure it out, such as the sage. Peace all the time, meaning you're comfortable with yourself. You're going to have situations. Once you learn how to handle those situations and maintain your peace, that's self-mastery. I get upset with myself when I let a situation take me out of my norm. I really get upset with myself. Not the, no, with myself. Take responsibility for your actions, because guess what? You're responsible for them. Trust me. Let me wrap it up. I see the clock. So watch this. True happiness and peace is only experienced when what? When the mind is not affected by the waves of what? Physical desires, sexual pleasures, or even frustration and pain brought on by what? Fetters, ignorance that you cause yourself. True happiness, watch this, and prosperity are the inner treasures which are to be discovered within, what you ready? The heart, and not outside world. The goal of leading a meditative lifestyle, like I told you that I live, is to discover the true treasure of inner peace. This treasure is more important, trust me, than any form of outer prosperity, no matter how secure it may seem to be, or not how much money they offer me. I'm not for sale. Why? I have inner peace. You can't buy that. And I ain't selling it. Okay? Anything outside of myself can be lost. But guess what? I can't lose anything that I hold where in my heart. Can't take that. Quick phrase. My master, right? Master Mason concept. When I came in, the master was threatened if he didn't give up the secret words to the ruffians, they wouldn't take his life. He responded, "My life you can take, my integrity never." So do what you got to do. Don't give me a whole bunch of wolf tickets. Just do what you got to do. I'm responsible for me. I'm good. If I say no the first time, ain't nothing you can threaten me or tell me that's going to make me change my mind. So handle your business. So therefore, that which is inside the innermost reality within you is more real and abiding than any outer development. So why do people continue to search incessantly for worldly possessions? It ain't stopped yet. And activities which what? Which they believe, here you go, that word. They believe will bring happiness. If you live in unbelief, you know how I feel about that. Gonna be problems. Wrapping it up. Again, I appreciate you. This has been the central point in the study of our yoga and mystical spirituality. Why? Because all other practices of spirituality are directed to answering this question, as well as to showing the path which enables one to discover what? The true fountain of peace and joy which lies within oneself. That's knowing thyself, and you'll find that fountain within yourself. That's the lesson. And right thinkers, in closing, may you all live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I talk to you.